teen celebs, whose surgeries left them unrecognizable. The most dramatic changes of 2025. How many celebrities have stepped into a surgeon's office hoping for a miracle and walked out wishing they could turn back time? The beauty industry in Hollywood is a billion-dollar machine, and its victims aren't just unknown dreamers. They're the world's biggest stars. A single decision, a single procedure, and suddenly their reflection becomes a stranger staring back at them. Amanda Lepore. Amanda Lepore is a well-known name, not only for her parties and nightlife, but because she literally remade herself into what she referred to as a living doll. She has undergone several very radical cosmetic surgeries over the years, from lip implants, nose jobs, cheekbone reshaping, and eyelid surgeries to breast augmentations and even breaking and pushing in her lower ribs to shrink her waist. Lepore also took on early hormone therapy and underwent gender affirmation surgery when she was a teenager. She often referred to her body as the most expensive body on earth, due to how many procedures she had undergone. Today, her appearance is unmistakable. Enormous lips, a minuscule waist, extreme curves, and an ultra-stylized face. Some are taken by her confidence and dedication to her own vision of beauty. Others are shocked by the transformation. For Amanda, though, it's never been about what's natural. She views her body as a work of art, a fantastic version of femininity molded and crafted by her hands. Amanda calls herself a work of art, but the next celebrity felt shattered after a beauty treatment backfired. Linda Evangelista. Linda Evangelista was once one of the most famous supermodels in the world. She had the kind of beauty that defined the 90s, sharp features, perfect symmetry, and a face every major brand wanted. But everything changed after she tried a cosmetic treatment called cool sculpting in 2015. The procedure was supposed to freeze and shrink small pockets of fat, but instead, Linda developed a rare side effect called paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, which caused the treated areas to grow larger and harder instead of smaller. She later revealed that this reaction left her brutally disfigured. The results completely changed her face and body, leaving her with uneven contours and swelling that made her look nothing like her former self. Linda became so devastated that she disappeared from public life for years, saying she could no longer recognize the person in the mirror. Up next is the fashion icon whose beauty choices shocked the world, Donatella Versace. Fashion legend, Donatella Versace has confessed to Botox use on her face, though she said it's just on my face, not my body. Over the years, many experts and media outlets have suggested that beyond Botox, she's probably used lip fillers, cheek fillers, and even had facelifts or skin-tightening treatments. People close to the industry noted how her lips and cheeks often looked fuller or more sculpted and her skin smoother. Signs typical of repeated cosmetic work. Because of that, many feel her once softer, more natural face changed over time into a sharper, sometimes rigid look. And now, we move on to a transformation so extreme, it earned its own nickname, Jocelyn Wildenstein. Jocelyn Wildenstein, the woman many called Catwoman. She was a naturally beautiful socialite with softer features and a classic look. But over decades, Jocelyn underwent extreme cosmetic surgeries, multiple facelifts, eye lifts, lip work, even skin treatments, all in an attempt to reshape her face. Some doctors and media noted that her skin became too tight, her cheekbones unnaturally high, and her face transformed from human to almost feline, which is why she earned nicknames like Catwoman or the Bride of Wildenstein. Jocelyn said many of them were natural, that she only had a few minor lifts and maybe a couple of Botox shots. But public photos told another story. The face many had remembered from younger years eventually became all but unrecognizable, a transformation that shows how cosmetic surgery, when it is pushed too far, can change a person in ways one may least expect. Up next is a celeb whose transformation shook Hollywood even harder, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke started off as a very good-looking Hollywood actor with the strong jaw, sharp features, and charm that matched his roles. But when he switched to boxing in the early 90s, things started to go the other way. He suffered 2 separate breaks to his nose, as well as another to a cheekbone. Repairing all of that damage eventually took several surgeries, 5 operations on his nose and 1 more to repair the cheekbone. He even had cartilage taken from his ear to rebuild his nose. Unfortunately, the surgeries didn't restore his original look because, as he admitted, he went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. Indeed, over time his face looked swollen or distorted to fans and critics, and many thought he had lost his old handsome look. Now, instead of his natural looks, what people remember is a man whose face tells a story of fights, failed fixes, and a makeover, which, unfortunately, cost him some of his original identity. Up next is the celeb whose makeover missteps became one of Hollywood's most talked about, Tara Reid. Tara once admitted that after liposuction and breast augmentation, things went awry. She said her stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing, adding that she even developed a hernia, a result she never anticipated. What was supposed to be a makeover of her body ended up leaving visible scars and uneven skin, making many photos of her very different from what fans remembered. As time went on, more and more people started to note that her face and figure no longer resembled old Tara. Even after corrective surgery and attempts to fix the earlier damage, many felt she still looked drastically changed. What's sad is that instead of the glamorous Hollywood image she was going for, the surgery left her appearance so changed that many fans barely recognized her. Upcoming is the celeb whose stunning natural beauty sparked endless admiration and whose later transformation surprised everyone, Daryl Hannah. One of the most talked about transformations in Hollywood is that of Daryl Hannah. This is mainly because the change was very gradual, yet so dramatic. In the early years of her career, especially in Splash and Blade Runner, she was celebrated as the perfect example of natural beauty with her soft features, expressive eyes, and very effortless charm. But over the years, her face gradually began to change. There were reports that she used Botox and fillers, even eye lifts or cheek implants. What made the transition so noticeable was how her expressions seemed to change. Her once natural movement became stiffer, with her cheeks and lips seeming to appear fuller with more time passing by. Fans who had watched her career from the beginning would often remark that her face slowly but surely changed, until one day she was almost unrecognizable. Even when she denied heavy cosmetic work, critics would note that it was the transition itself, subtle at first, dramatic later, which made her almost unrecognizable. Next is the celeb, whose bold look and countless surgeries made headlines for decades. Pete Burns. Pete had originally come across as an edgy, striking frontman of Dead or Alive, with the appropriate look to match the boldness of his music. But after suffering a broken nose early in his career, he opted for cosmetic surgery to fix it, and it went badly wrong. That was followed not by a tweak, but a spiral. Multiple nose jobs, cheek implants, lip augmentations. Ultimately, he estimated around 300 surgeries. Yet one lip fill injection led to a catastrophic reaction. The filler spread right across his face, leaving holes in the skin, constant swelling, and yellow fluid oozing out when touched. Over the next 2 years, Pete underwent numerous reconstructive surgeries, each of them trying to eliminate filler from his cheeks, throat, and even behind his eyes. But the damage was already done. What was once a bold, unusual, but iconic face ended up looking distorted and almost unrecognizable. Up next is the celeb whose extreme plastic surgery journey became a Hollywood cautionary tale. Heidi Montag. When Heidi Montag was on her reality show, she was beautiful and naturally pretty. Everything changed when she got that huge makeover. Stories say she underwent 10 plastic surgery procedures in one day. This one-day surgery included a nose job, chin reduction, brow lift, liposuction, breast augmentation, lip and cheek fat injections, ear pinning, and more. And the result was a look many fans barely recognized. The aftermath was rough, as Heidi later admitted that recovering was painful and even life-threatening, as her heart reportedly stopped for 1 minute during recovery. She says that at the time she was way too young to make such a life-changing decision, admitting she trusted surgery would fix insecurities but didn't realize how much it would change her body and her life. What was supposed to be an enhancement turned out to be a radical transformation that left her unrecognizable and with a long journey of physical and emotional implications. Up next is the celeb whose iconic rock star style couldn't hide the dramatic changes to her face, Courtney Love. Courtney used to be known for her gritty, natural rock star vibe, a strong face that matched the raw emotion in her music and acting, but over the years she's admitted to altering her appearance. She's had a nose job and at one point even had her previously enlarged lips reduced. Many other reports and fan observations point out the use of fillers or other procedures, and they argue that what we once recognized changed dramatically as a result. With those changes, her familiar face for some became a completely different look, a version of her that feels harder to recognize. Still, Courtney has said she did what she felt she needed, even if the results split opinions. Next is the celeb whose career as a supermodel couldn't protect her from the dramatic effects of cosmetic surgery, Janice Dickinson. Janice was once a huge name in modeling, a top supermodel whose face and figure graced the covers all over the world, known for her beautiful classic features. Yet, over time, she became candid about having a plethora of cosmetic work: facelifts, neck lifts, a tummy tuck, breast surgery, liposuction, Botox, and so on. Because she kept changing and improving her look, many people, including fans from her modeling days, started saying she looks almost unrecognizable now compared to back then. The natural glow and softness that made her special seem gone. What's left is a much harder, tighter face. Still, Janice herself isn't bashful about admitting as much. She once said she lives for plastic surgery and isn't ashamed of having done what she felt she needed, but for many people, the version of Janice they remember has faded. Next up is the iconic Guns N' Roses frontman whose appearance has shifted dramatically through the decades, Axl Rose. In his heyday as a rock star, Axl had this raw, edgy look, sharp features, strong jawline, and a face to boot with that wild voice and attitude. But now, many observers believe he has undergone cosmetic tweaks like Botox, fillers, cheek and chin work, so much so that his face is fuller and tighter. Not like the guy fans fell for decades ago. People point to his puffier cheeks, smoother and less wrinkled skin, and even the refined shape of his nose, all often associated with facelift or rhinoplasty. He has an almost doll-like appearance, some would say, rather than human, as the natural lines and expressions seem to be lacking. Coming up is the actress whose transformation has sparked plenty of conversation among fans and media alike, Lara Flynn Boyle. Lara was once considered one of Hollywood's most striking beauties. Her face was sharp, expressive, and natural. A few decades later, though, photos of her cause surprise. Many fans and media outlets claim her cheeks look puffy, her lips overfilled, and her skin tight in ways that don't match the soft elegance she used to have. Those who have studied her before and after looks have suggested she may have had several procedures, fillers, lip work, perhaps even a brow or facelift. What makes it more noticeable, however, is that these changes are much more than cosmetic tweaks. Many say those features that once made her unique can no longer be as distinctly recognized. Although Lara has never officially confirmed each surgery, her changed look has caused a lot of discussion. For many fans, the changes are so striking that connecting today's images to an actress they once admired is hard. Next is the celeb, whose iconic girl-next-door looks took a surprising turn over the years, Meg Ryan. When she was America's girl next door, Meg had that soft, expressive face, wide eyes, a natural smile, and a look full of warmth. Then, over the years, cosmetic enhancements reportedly started changing that. According to various experts, she had fillers or fat grafting in her cheeks, Botox on the forehead, probably lip work, and even a facelift. The result was, her cheeks have turned out fuller, and her forehead unusually smooth. When she smiles, the volume shifts, making her eyes seem smaller and her expressions look less natural. Even though Meg hasn't publicly confirmed all these procedures, for many people, the before versus after difference is clear. What once felt like fresh, easygoing charm now can seem a little distant. And that shift is what's made fans feel she looks, in some ways, almost unrecognizable. Next celebrity is going to shock your world, Priscilla Presley. Priscilla was once famous for a graceful, delicate beauty, soft features, a classic look that matched the glamour of her era. But over time, many observers claim she opted for cosmetic work. Things like cheek and lip fillers, a facelift or brow lift, and skin resurfacing treatments. According to experts, those procedures appear to have altered her facial structure. Her cheeks now look fuller, lips plumper, and skin unusually smooth, giving her a noticeably different appearance compared to her younger self. Some critical fans and media outlets even argue that the change is so drastic, she's become almost unrecognizable. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep exploration into Hollywood transformations, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more celebrity stories and shocking before and after reveals. Drop a comment below and let us know which celebrity's transformation surprised you the most, and make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. See you in the next one.